As we show you every week, the Louisiana Farm Life is a family affair, and nowhere is that more evident than in Oil City, Louisiana, where Marty and Crystal Wooldridge raise 500 head of cattle. As TWILA's Rebecca Buchanan shows us, you're never too young to gain a love for the land.
Welcome to Wooldridge Land and Ranch. It's in Oil City, north of Shreveport. This fourth-generation ranch spans 3,000 acres, has 500 head of cattle, and the growing Wooldridge family.
Hey, we're gonna go get some cow's hay? Well, we'll do that in a minute. Come on, where's Mama? That's what that is?
Marty, Crystal, and even their tiny 2-year-old William all do their part on the farm. But Marty wasn't always sure he would take over the family business.
Study business. At one time, I was destined to be a lawyer.
But the farm called him home, and he says it's where he's meant to be.
Why did you decide to go ahead with it and do something with it?
I just loved it.
A love that started when he was William's age, but the nostalgic memories of growing up in the great wide open was not enough to run a thriving cattle business.
We get up and I worry about Mother Nature, and I worry about the commodity prices, and you worry about your family. I shouldn't have to worry about the government and what's the next regulation they're going to put on us, or the next tax, or what have you. The legislation that they pass affects our livelihood. It makes the cost of our product go up. It makes the burden of paperwork go up. If we're not there to speak for that, how do they know that we care how it affects us?
Marty speaks on behalf of many farmers and ranchers in Louisiana, and he says the Farm Bureau has helped his voice be heard.
Let Farm Bureau take you to Washington. Meet with that congressman. He depends upon your vote, and you depend upon him. But unless he actually sees it, and he sees it in your face, sees it in your eye, the concern that you have and the care that you have for the topic, he is not as quick to act.
Marty and Crystal say the Young Farmers and Ranchers group within the Farm Bureau family opened doors to help them triple their operation since Marty took over his grandfather's ranch more than a decade ago.
Things like Farm Bureau has kept me here on the farm.
The organization did more than provide access to policymakers, other farmers, and resources for the young couple.
Just meet the most wonderful people, and not just people, but friends.
There's probably only 6 young people trying to row crop or run cattle or what have you. There's just not many of us. But once you go and experience a Farm Bureau leadership conference, was the very first thing, a YF&R leadership conference, first thing I ever went to, we see that there's 150 people that are like you, sitting in the room. Right. And it really makes you feel better about what you've gotten yourself into.
Driving a tractor is like second nature to Marty, who took the wheel for the first time at 9 years old.
You drive? Okay.
Now, William can't wait for the chance to sit in the big seat.
And I love how much William enjoys it.
But for Crystal, growing up was a little different.
I had not grown up on the farm. That was kind of a whole new ball game for me on how much time is put into it. But thank goodness it was something where we could do together. So I immediately said, okay, put me on the tractor, because if you're going to be out there, I want to be out there with you.
And that's where she's been, right here on the ranch with Marty, unless she's at her 9-to-5 desk job in finance.
I had no idea what I was getting into. I mean, it is a 7 days a week, 24 hours a day job. There have been times where I get up in the morning, and if we have to at 5 o'clock before I go to work, we're in the pen assisting with a cow giving birth.
Marty agrees that life on the farm is a lot of work, but he says Crystal's ability to step up to the challenge is strengthened by their core values.
Faith, family, and farm, it's then Farm Bureau. I think all things are possible if we stay true to those 4 things.
From Wooldridge Land and Ranch, I'm Rebecca Buchanan for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture.
Not only is Marty Wooldridge a member of the Louisiana Farm Bureau Board of Directors, he's also chairman of the Farm Bureau Livestock Advisory Committee and sits on the Louisiana Beef Industry Council. And another little known fact that I bet you didn't know about Marty's cattle operation, he and my father-in-law go in together and sell a lot of bulls together in the fall and October in Alabama for Cow Creek.
I did not know that, but I tell you what, he's got a great place
out
there. I went up there with Rebecca to go and shoot that story, and to see William just light up when he sees those cows. Unbelievable in person. It comes across great in the story, but when you see it in person, man, your heart just melts.
Well, still to come on TWILA, why protesters inside a Trader Joe's are trending for all the wrong reasons.
But first, how lunch with a rancher can change young minds across the country. Stay with us.